mayonnaise. I'm sure that's a bigger word I know.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on in to the BAT MLB Player Projections and Props. And you know what time it is? It is Carty time with none other than Derek Carty of EVAnalytics. I'm Tom Viola, and of course, we are brought to you by Unabated, but we'll talk more about that later. For now, guys, welcome on in. Chat, I see we already got the usual suspects here. Logan Day saying good morning. Yahtzee saying it's Carty o'clock. Logan also saying, let's make some money today, boys and girls. And Yahtzee points out that the John Madden intro is, in fact, undefeated. I love that intro so much. Like, that is just a phenomenal soundbite there from a man who had so many of them, Derek. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. We're starting to get into the season a little bit now. It's been a little bit rough going on this show specifically, but I think it's just because the sample size has been so small. But overall, it's been a great year for me. It's been a great year for the Bat. So I'm happy. I'm ready to get rolling. And board's a little thin today, but yeah. I think we have one that does show some good value.
Yeah, we have we have one prop to talk about. For the rest of you guys, feel free to throw your stuff in. Like, this show today is going to go as long as you guys have questions for us. So please, by all means, toss them in the chat. We will answer each and every one of them for you. But we do have one prop to get to. But Derek, I've been very happy with the success. Of course, stop me if you've heard this. With the whole fact, slow start for us here on the show. But if we learn anything from NFL, it's not about how you start; it's how you finish.
Yeah, exactly. As the sample builds up, it's going to even out. We're going to be just fine because, the system itself has been great.
Yeah. Now, let's get to our prop of the day, shall we? Like you said, it's a small slate today, not a ton on the board, but we are looking at Joey Estes here versus the Houston Astros, who have been pretty astro so far this year. Ooh, sorry about that, guys. Didn't make it to the mute button in time and didn't land the corny joke. But hey, Derek, where are we looking at on Joey Estes here?
Yeah, so we're looking at his under here. This is going to be a price-specific one. You can see projecting 3.44. The line is 3.5. So the closer you get to even money, the less value this is going to show. There's a plus 110 here that you can see drops off. The best line is actually over at, if you can see it here, Bet365. There's a plus 125 here, but there's plenty of plus 120s at other books right now. DK, a few others, I think. Estes is, first, he's not a high strikeout pitcher. He struck out 5 in 5 innings over, in his first start last week. But this is a guy who hasn't even been able to strike out a batter per 9 in the minors. So this is a guy who really, he projects to be like a 7K per 9 type of guy. And he's facing an Astros team that, has underperformed this year, but they are much better than they've been to this point, and they're a low strikeout team. So you combine the low strikeout rate of Estes with the low strikeout rate of the Astros, and then you look at the leash. He's a guy who, even in the minors, would go like 75, 80 pitches. They pulled him at 61 in his last start. He was pitching well, and after 5 innings, they're just like, all right, that's it. No more. So the short leash you throw in there as well. This one looks good if you can get it at a reasonable amount of plus money, because, again, we could actually look at the probability here. It looks like it's only going to win maybe about 55% of the time. So the closer you get to even money, the more this just looks like a no bet.
Exactly. It's all about it. We preach this on the show each and every week here, and everybody's probably sick of hearing it, but I'll say it again. It's all about the price. We're not coming on here and saying, oh, we like this guy because this team doesn't really strike out that much, and he's going to have like you can build a narrative around someone, but we're not out here definitively saying, oh yeah, he's not going to get 4 strikeouts in this game. It's right. All about the fact that he's less likely to get 4 strikeouts than what the price is on him to do so. And that's what makes it a good bet there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, all those things, they don't strike out a lot. Like, that's all going into the projection. And then I'm kind of explaining, okay, why does the projection look this way? Why is it maybe something the market isn't considering? But really what it comes down to is just, after considering all these different factors, the projection says it has this % chance of hitting. The market says it has this % chance. There's a big enough gap between the two that there's value to bet it.
Exactly. And that right there is good sports betting in a nutshell, not just prop betting, but you're always looking for the best price, and you always want to. The only thing that makes a bet a good bet, well, not only thing, but the main thing that makes a bet a good bet is any time that you have a price that is better than what the price should be. That right there is your edge, and that makes it something that you should bet. All right, let's hop into the chat here and talk with the people, Derek. John Kissel says Brandon Nimmo was huge last night. David Hayward asks, still holding off on Jared Jones? At what point do you start trusting his projections more?
I was tempted by Jones today. We can pull him up here. 6.5 at -150. It has been dropping all day. Like, it opened at much more favorable numbers. And then even though he's just been fantastic this year, the market on him has still been dropping today, which I think says something. At -150, I don't like it as much. His outs prop, if I was going to take a Jones prop today, it might be the outs prop. Let me see if I can pull that up on EVAnalytics. So yeah, his outs prop, I mean, some games they're just going to pull him at 5 innings because that's what they're going to do. Like, they've shown that. We don't know when those games are going to be, but that possibility does have to be baked in. FanDuel's down at 16.5, but these 17.5s minus 115 looks all right. I do think the bat is still too low on him. I think he's a better pitcher than the bat believes he is. But also, let me see if I can pull up his Fangraphs page. Also, the actual numbers are getting to be a bit in line with what the bat thinks. So, like, if you look at his Fangraphs here, he's had about a 10.5 strikeout per 9. The bat's at 9.5. Everyone else is under 9. So the bat actually likes him more than just about anybody else does. I still think it's too low, though. His stuff has been really good this year. I'm not at the point yet where I'm betting Jared Jones unders.
Well, yep, there we have it. I mean, that is a great breakdown of it there. Thank you so much, Derek. And thank you so much to David for asking the question. Jeff Pasquale says, Derek, have you noticed starting pitchers going longer this year, and has the bat been able to account for it?
I don't think that's true. I will have to look into it for sure after the show, but I don't think starting pitchers are going longer this year. If you're seeing that, it's possible just because it's like, actually, that wouldn't even make sense either. I'll have to look into it. I don't think starting pitchers are going longer this year. I think it's kind of the same trend as we've been seeing where they're getting pulled earlier and earlier every year. This last I checked, it was kind of in line with last year. So, I mean, teams are getting smarter. They're starting to realize that specializing their pitchers makes more sense. They're starting to realize that, you know, more and more, even managers, even like the non-analytically inclined managers are kind of being told by the front offices, like, hey, third time through the order hurts. You know, we don't want our guys to go as deep into games because you get that penalty. I'd be surprised if the trend is reversing this year.
Yeah, that's an interesting one to keep an eye on there, Jeff. Maybe make sure that make sure that the numbers are actually going that way there. Yahtzee pointing out the Trastros are living up to their name. They have not been good so far this season. Logan Day with a great question here. I've been struggling lately. I've been losing every day for the last 6 days. I'm down 8 units. Typically, I bet a Kelly Criterion at 1-1 with any positive EV plus 10 in pitcher Ks and batter hits. Do you have any advice? First off, Logan, I would honestly recommend when it comes to props, switching to a flat stake. The Unabated simulator is great, but you're using a projection set, so it is very tough to calculate proper edge and proper EV on the props. You can know that you have an edge and that you have something worth betting, but I would recommend switching to flat staking, to be quite honest with you, just to start there. Derek, any advice in particular on what you're looking at in terms of prop markets here?
Yeah, I do flat staking myself, so I would agree with that. I mean, 6 days, you know, what it comes down to. Honestly, it's probably just noise. Like, I've gone on streaks of way longer than 6 days where I've just been ice cold. That's just kind of the nature of baseball, I think. There's nothing that I've noticed of late that would make me think, you know, all of a sudden things are different. I think we're just looking at variance.
And I think, frankly, like if you're using the BATX, and I know that Logan's using it in the Unabated simulator, if that's your method, stick with it. You're gonna be just fine here. If you are blending Fantasy Pros and Number Fire, on the other hand, get a subscription to the BATX instead. I think that is my biggest piece of advice to start winning there. Matt Berger says, thoughts on Ranger Suarez for the Cy Young? Does he have a chance at it? Not quite our usual questions that we talk about in terms of props, but hey, we can dive into the futures markets for a second. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I mean, Ranger Suarez, I'll pull up his Fangraphs page here, but I mean, he's just way overperforming right now. Like his ERA is 1.37. Like there's no chance he's a 1.37 ERA guy. A lot of it just comes down to his BABIP is super low. His home run rate is lower than it's ever been. His walk rate is lower than it's ever been. His strikeouts are about the same. Like he's a good pitcher, but he's not a great one. And I would imagine the odds on him right now are probably reflecting the optimism that people have based on this hot start. So I'd have to see what the odds are, but I would guess that there is no value betting on Ranger Suarez to win the Cy Young. Like he's just not as good as he's been.
Yeah, it's a classic example of regression to the mean. Like, expect this guy to come back down to earth rather than continue playing at this level.
I've always been a Ranger Suarez guy. Like, I think he's better than people have given him credit for. Like, I thought he was way better than that 4.18 ERA last year, but he's not this good.
Yeah. There you go. I would stay away from betting on that one. David Hayward says, great answer on Jones. Thank you. Yahtzee asked Joe Ryan under 17.5 outs.
We can pull that up. Let's see. Joe Ryan. So the bat's projecting 16.5. So, at plus 120, you're getting, decent value here. It is the Yankees. He is facing a really good offense today that could knock him around. Ryan himself is a really good pitcher. The 17.5s are always kind of risky because it's right on that borderline. Like if he finishes that sixth inning, it loses. He's got to get pulled before that. You can consider betting this one. Like it definitely has value. I don't think it's not one that I looked at this morning and hit, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, there you go. That's one worth looking at here. RF21312. Jag asks, what did I miss? Joe Estes under 3.5 strikeouts, but you're looking to play it at around. We'd like to get plus 125, Jag. If you can't get that, just the closer you get to even money, the worse value you have. RF21312 says, I'm having Quintana under 4.5 Ks for minus 140. Any edge there?
Let's take a look. Jose Quintana. That's projecting 4.4, and at the odds you're getting, it looks like there's no value on either side. The line's just, efficient.
Yeah. So sorry about that. Nothing really there. Logan Day says, thank you. Since I should be betting flat unit, is a better idea to stay away from minus 150 and lower?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I haven't seen a lot of those showing really good value this year, but in the past, it's no problem. You hear sometimes like touts be like, oh, like don't bet it. I don't bet anything over minus 150. Like it's just too much juice to pay. It's like, what makes it too much juice to pay? Like it's just an arbitrary number that some people will throw out there, and anyone who gives you that advice, ignore them, because all it comes down to is it's exactly what we always say. Like it's the odds of something hitting compared to the odds that the book implies. So minus 150 has about a 60% chance of hitting. If your projection says it has a 65% chance of hitting, well, bet it. Like it doesn't matter if it's minus 150. That's really all it comes down to.
Yeah, you take value on the board. Like if you're gonna offer me sun to rise in the east at minus 10,000, I'm taking that every single time.
I am too.
There's value on the play. It's not about the juice there. When you're flat staking, Derek, when you're flat staking and you're betting favorites, are you still betting the same amount, or are you betting to win one unit at that point?
I'm usually, when I'm betting favorites, I'm usually betting to win one unit.
Okay. I felt like clarifying that, and quite frankly, making sure, because that's exactly what I'm doing as well here. Matt Berger says, appreciate you. He's got a 10K ticket. Woo! that would be so. Hey, man, I'll root for you. Absolutely. Like, we're sorry that we just said he's probably not going to be able to sustain that, but hey, you never know.
If that 10K ticket is from the start of the season, you're definitely looking at, a higher chance than we had at the beginning of the year. If you just bet it recently, I probably don't love the odds you got.
Yeah,
I
but
think that's the Ranger Suarez thing.
yeah, but hey, we'll root for you for sure, man. Adonelzium will remember your plight eventually. Ask Ellie under 1.5 times. Ellie De La Cruz under 1.5 strikeouts at plus 155.
Yeah, this one actually I was looking at today. It didn't quite have enough for me to want to hit it, but it did look like one of the better values in that market today. So let's take a look. Hitter K's, Ellie. Yep. So you're getting it under plus 155 at either DK or Hard Rock. The bat's projecting 1.71. So this is one that's going to be like, I can look it up, but probably like a 40-ish% chance to win, I would guess. 46% chance to win. So at plus 155, you can definitely do that. Especially if it winds up being one of those days where Ellie's hitting a little lower in the order. He's projected second now, but if he winds up hitting like fifth or something, then fewer at bats, fewer chances for strikeouts. It's good value. It's not great value, but I definitely don't have a problem if you want to bet it.
The next question up here from DJ Cole 2014. Not so much a baseball question, but when are unabated golf odds going to be posted? That is a great question. We are looking to have the unabated line out for golf real soon. Our target is the British Open. Don't hold my feet to the fire if we miss that target, but that is what we're looking for here. So expected by July, right? That's when the British Open is. Yeah. So that is what we're looking for there. Trust me, I am very excited to have all of that up, and it's going to be more than just an unabated line on golf. We have plenty of stuff we're rolling out, but I am excited to say we are much closer, maybe a couple weeks out on a whole bevy of new MLB props for you as well. We got a lot of great stuff coming down the pipe for this summer. Joe Bim TV says, how much of an effect will the warmer weather, especially on the East Coast with the humidity, have on both pitcher Ks and hitter Ks, and alternatively bases and bases allowed?
Yeah, so rule of thumb, the warmer the weather, the better it is for hitters, basically across all categories. So walks will go up, strikeouts will go down, hits will go up, home runs will go up. That's the effect that we see on weather year in and year out. So as we get more into June, July, August, you'll see, the bat projecting offense higher, and you'll see, probably the books doing it a bit as well.
Yeah, like the weather change will very much be priced into to anything that we've got going on here. Connor Vastola asks, if you want a flat stake and are limited, should you try to take the max on your limits or adjust and try to get a true flat stake? I mean, that's a good question. I think it really just if you're limited, I think that it really just comes down to trying to get as much down as you can, but you're going to continue to get more limited.
Yeah, it's kind of a 22 kind of thing. Limits are just the worst. Like everyone, casual bettors think the hardest thing is beating the markets. It's not. It's maintaining your ability to actually continue betting.
Yeah, that is absolutely the most difficult part there. I would say the real thing to do is start looking for other ways to get down. Logan asked, is 1% a good size per unit? Also, what would make you bet more than your unit size, if ever? 1% of your bankroll. That's reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's a very reasonable amount. I very rarely will stray from that. Like, like we said, we kind of do flat betting. On occasion, I might bump it up a couple percentage if I think the line is just clearly like really, really wrong. And this maybe will happen a handful of times per year. Like it's not that often, but like the line is just so mispriced that the value is insane.
Yeah, that is exactly what I would.
Usually that's, like a guy on a pitch count or something coming off of injury that the book just completely misses,
or
like
Alex
projected for 3 strikeouts and the book set it at like, 6.5 or something like that.
Yeah. Or if just Alex Manoah is pitching. That's something that gets me there. I will absolutely hammer those overs on earned runs for the other team there and giving up runs. But that looks like we are out of questions here, and hey, we've got a good 20 minutes. I think that's a good point. Derek, thank you so much to everybody in the audience for joining us here today. You know the drill. We'll be back here next Thursday as well. And of course, if you want to check out and start mining for value on your own, head to unabated.com today. Use the link in the description to get a one-on-one demo with me, like Logan Day did. He loved it. He's here. He's having a good time. Logan, hope you don't mind me calling you out like that, but hey, it was great talking with you on that demo. And I'm here to help. I'm here to show you everything that Unabated has to offer. And of course, you can get a subscription to the BATX and you link your accounts. It takes 2 seconds and boom, you've got all of Derek's projections coming in right to you, right on the Unabated simulator so that you can run them from there. We got a whole bunch of great stuff coming down the pipe, hoping in a couple weeks to really be able to show off so even more great stuff for you from us here at Unabated. But in the meantime, that is going to do it for us. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Derek, as always. Let's get another win for the week, and let's cash some tickets. Good luck, everybody. Have a good one.